The Magus, by Momatoes, is a solo journaling tabletop RPG where you play as the Magus, the wizard of the Lonely Tower, going on a journey for power, ambition, and arcane mastery, at great personal and interpersonal cost. The game plays like this: you gonna need a bunch of dices, and of course, something to write. You probably need this for any other tabletop RPGs anyway, but for solo journaling RPG, this gets even more important, because you will be documenting the things that occurred in your journey, like a journal. Every time you resolved an event, write it in. You can even draw, use photographs, or just use link directed to a reference. You are the one playing after all, just do whatever you want. Anyway, let's talk about mechanic, and while I didn't really have experience with solo journaling RPG before, I'm a bit surprised by how crunchy the rules are, by narrative tabletop RPG standard. Your journey will be tracked by several traits in the form of focus, power, control, and scar. Focus is your inner strength, your willpower, to prevail through adversary. Power is instead your magic power. You start at 1, and 3 is max, and by max I mean you gonna be at the top of everything and gaining unlimited power in the process. Together, these two traits will help you overcome various challenges you could face in your journey, and in a way, they serve as a polar opposite. You could gain focus through connecting with people or completing challenges with distinction, but for power, you will need to take an extra step. More on that later. Control is a combination of restraint, stability, and wholeness of self. You start with perfect control, to cracked, to broken, and if you fall any further, retire your character. You lose control by repeatedly failing challenges, and you could never regain control. Also, if your control slips below perfect, roll a risk die with every challenge. If it reaches a 1, a calamity occurs. We will talk about this in a moment. Scars instead mark ongoing issues and struggles that happen in the background and could shape what happens at the end. These can range from something mundane like being wrongly accused of something, to being hounded by the Fae, which as we mortals know, are bad fucking news. You also have spells and bonds. Spells are, well, magic spells obviously. Bonds are instead the relationship you have formed, and to get both of these and progress in your journey, you roll for event with a d4 and d6, get a difference between them, and move forward through the prompts, and when you reach an event, you can choose to accept and resolve it, or pick the one after it instead. Remember to write down why you make this choice. There are two types of events: spell events and bond events. A spell event will give you a random list of name, make a spell, then write down what it really does, then roll a set of dices determined by your power to roll over the difficulty of acquiring it. Since a spell event often involves some major complications, minor success or failure can bring major consequences to your character, like a scar, losing control, or even losing someone you know. A bond event instead is just you making a new connection or strengthening your existing bond, but of course, you probably have noticed that both events don't increase your power. So, how do you do that? Turns out, getting more power is easy. You just need to be a heartless bastard, and you can do this at any time. Remember to write it down. Why do you need more power? Well, it will make spell event easier, giving you more magic, but even at power 2, you might still fail the roll, and, hey, you already did it once, why not do it again to gain more power? You can also gain more power by spending your focus, literally using the power of friendship and willpower for more magic, but, you are on a time limit, so, why not just take a shortcut instead? And of course, you can't just sacrifice a random person. It has to be someone you know, someone you have a bond with, someone you like to be on your side. So, what choice will you make? Every time you have finished 2 events, take an opportunity to reflect on how your actions have affected others, the world, and you, the Magus. Pause, think of the possibilities, and write it down. You will get to do this only 3 times, because, after the 7th event, the game ends, and you must leave your tower, whether despite, or because of your yearning for something. It will happen, it always will, so, it's time to make a choice. If you have at least one nurtured bond, write down how you spend your last embrace with them. If you achieve power 3, you could literally do anything, including turning back time. Make up your choice. If you are broken, shadow still torments you, but you eventually found peace. How do you do it? And while your remaining scars will haunt you, maybe you will find a way. There's also the other way of ending the game prematurely, whether that's losing all of your control, or when you fail your risk roll during a challenge, a calamity happens. What kind of calamity? Pick your poison, or make one yourself. And that's basically how the Magus, or most solo journaling tabletop RPGs, work. You make your choices, write down why you do it, write down the consequences, and when it ends, write down your conclusion. Each choice really matters in a solo journaling tabletop RPG, and in the Magus, you could spend your limited time to choose between enriching your bond with others, or fly as close to the sweet sun of omnipotence, hoping that you don't burn yourself, your humanity, or even the entire world in the process. Whatever your choice is, remember to write it down. It's your story after all. You could also just choose to bail the fuck out at any time. You can get it now on itch.io, and also for free by emailing momatoes about it. Just no, don't spam her about it, be nice, please. And while I do adore the artworks and layout in the book, if you feel that it looks a bit messy, there's a version that cleans it up with simplified format, and if you feel that there's not enough event prompt or you just want a new adventure, there's Through the Looking Glass, a supplement that comes packed for free with the Magus. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you enjoy reading the solo journaling tabletop RPG as much as I did, and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell button. If you really want to support my channel, you could visit my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.